Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters.
I am the queen, the cream of the crop, and there is no one that does it better than the Macho Man Randy Savage. Woo! I've got the style and profile like never before. Well, let me tell you something, brother. I'm the man.
I am the best wrestler in the world.
They call me Hot Rod. Everybody knows it. I don't have to say what I am because I've done it. It's showtime, folks. Woo!
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Real Marks of Long Island. And, folks, do we have one hell of a weekend for professional wrestling? If you see the ticker rolling at the bottom of the screen, if you're watching live on our socials, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, you see we got NXT Battleground. We got Double or Nothing for AEW this Sunday. 2 Sunday night pay-per-views. Which one are we going to watch? Probably both. And we have Saturday night main event for the WWE. I think officially this might be our first prediction show with an AEW. I guess they still call it pay-per-views, right? PPV. First one. Are we ready? Are we excited?
I'm ready. I am a big fan of prediction shows, and I pride myself on my predictions, whether I be right or wrong. So I am ready to get into it. Absolutely.
Let's go. I'm right there. I'm with you. Let's get into this. Let's break everything down because there's a lot of wrestling this weekend and we're ready to tackle it all.
I think, Court, you have a new angle too. Last week I debuted my new camera angle. We got the hat wall. We got this is not wrestling related. We got Darth Vader. We got my Jets wall behind me. JETS, Jets. Court, what's this angle you got going on?
I moved the chair a little while. A little bit. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. Feels good right now.
Feels good. I like it. So let's get into Double or Nothing first. I am very excited because we had a contract signing on AEW last night, Wednesday night. We had MJF signing his way into the Hurt Syndicate, which I thought that was going to go a whole different direction. We had, a little hesitation from Bobby, but at the end, he signed the damn contract. And who came waltzing out? Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, the ROH Tag Team Champions. Court, I want to throw this to you first. Predictions. Is the Hurt Syndicate going to put the hurt on Dustin? Or like Dustin said, he's taken beatings before and he's fine with it. He likes to get hurt, so it's nothing new to him. Who's coming out on top?
Look, I love MJF with the Hurt Syndicate. I think that's amazing. I love Bobby. I love the whole thing. But we are going Dustin Rhodes, I am going Dustin Rhodes and Sammy all day. No bias. None whatsoever. Look, I love Dustin. I think he re-signed after Cody left, and I can't believe that he did that. But he knows that he's doing good there. He's enjoying his place. He's enjoying what he's doing. He's training a lot of the female talent. He's doing really well, and that has nothing to do with my prediction. But Dustin, Jesus. I'm staring at Justin, saying Dustin. Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara. Sorry, Hurt Business. Sorry, MJF. No shot.
Yeah, I cannot agree with you there. We're going with the Hurt Syndicate, and we heard people, MJF is going to get involved somehow, although I don't think necessarily Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin even need the help against Dustin Rhodes and Sammy. I thought Dustin gave a nice promo. I thought it was from the heart. It was awesome, but it's the Hurt Syndicate, baby, and we hurt people, and MJF's going to be there hyping up his boys because he's a part of the group now. He's flying first class with Shelton Benjamin right in front of him. Let's go Hurt Syndicate all the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Hurt Syndicate fan. I love it. Retain right there, and still hashtag. I just want to see what shenanigans MJF gets involved with too. I'm very excited for this combination. I hope they don't get rid of it quickly. I want to see, MJF really embrace the Hurt, and I want to see, Bobby and Shelton really embrace MJF. We already know MVP, embraces MJF. We've seen their interactions, but I want to see, full-fledged buddy relationship between the three, and I can't wait. But I'm sorry, Dustin. I'm sorry, Sammy. You guys are the ROH Tag Team Champions, but you ain't experienced this Hurt before, so that's how it's going down. Bobby Lashley's going to leave them wasted across the ring, and that's what we're getting Sunday night.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to, at the end of us saying our predictions, just for me and editing purposes, I'm going to say what we have. So Ty and me, we're both going with the Hurt Syndicate. Court is going with Dustin and Sammy. What we got next, Ty?
We got a stretcher match. Mark Briscoe, Ricochet. I mean, I love it. We had the what was it? The stretcher come out on Wednesday night a little bit. We got a little showing for it. I'm interested. I'm still not fully behind, the Ricochet push right now. He is coming into his own, in my opinion. I think he's starting to really, embrace what he is on AEW. I think he wins. Mark Briscoe is a stud, super talented, but I feel the push of Ricochet, and I can see him coming out on top, especially with those scissors.
I'm going Ricochet as well. Ricochet, he like you said, he's just that annoying heel right now, but he's playing it so well, and he's buying into it, and he's just being flashy. I can't, for Ricochet, we've never really truly seen him in like a we've seen him in ladder matches, sure, but like in a hardcore, stretcher match, especially with a Briscoe, like let's see what we can do, So I'm going to go with Ricochet. Court, how about you?
Yep, I'm going to go Ricochet too. That's our first, simultaneous prediction. But I kind of like the way he's taking it. I like the way that he's, getting frustrated and just getting more and more into that heel persona. I'm down. I think it's Ricochet all day. But it's going to be a great match.
And heel turn and hooks agree. They got comment, wow, Ricochet's become one of the best heels in the business. His character work has been great. Yeah. I mean, I would say good in my, I still think he has some more to give, but he's definitely come a long way from what he was with WWE. And, I feel like he was kind of babied, he was kind of timid when he was a face. There's only so much you can do. And I feel like for him being a heel, it opens up more character to really develop and push. And I hated that dumb laugh the moment he started doing it, but it's such a great heel, emphasis for his heel character. It's perfect.
Yeah, he's really impressing me. Coming from WWE and being what he was there to what he is now becoming, he's really, really impressing me.
All right, we got FTR versus Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia. Justin, why don't you start us off with your prediction on this tag team match?
First off, I love that Nigel's still getting back in the ring. I thought he was going to be like a one and done after, being in Wembley and then against Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, should I say. But you got to go with FTR, right? They just turned heel. They just beat the ever living crap out of Cope. So you got to go with FTR.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. I'm going to go FTR. I think it's a great match, but fuck the Revival, but FTR.
Yeah. FTR is one of the tag teams of our generation right now. I can't see them losing this match. I feel like I think Daniel Garcia is going to have some good standout moments, but I can't see that formation of the tag team beating one of the best tag teams in AEW and in professional wrestling right now. So, and I like this FTR heel turn. I think it's well needed. I like them better as heels. It was fun when they had their alliance with Cope. I want to say Edge so bad. I always want to say Edge when I say his name. Somehow I had the brain to say Cope being in AEW mode. I think that's why. But yeah, I think it's an easy win for FTR, but I could be wrong.
So we got 3 FTRs, FTR all across the board. Ty, what do we have next?
What do we have next? And I just want to shout out over there. Heel turns and hooks said Nigel eats the pin or turns on Garcia. I completely agree. It's definitely how that's gonna end. Let's go with the AEW Continental Championship. We have Okada versus Mike Bailey. I think this is an easy retain for Okada. I don't know. I think Okada's just on some level, and it's really going to take a lot for him to lose this championship. In AEW, there's always a lot of quick turnarounds for champions. This has not been the case for Okada, and I can't see his reign stopping right here.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think Okada, it's not big enough to end Okada right now. There's just no way. So I'm going Okada as well.
I also am going Okada. Listen, Speedball can go. Speedball's fun to watch, but he's not Kazuchika Okada. And it'll be a fun match. That's what AEW does, is they put on fun matches for the fans. But there's no way Okada's losing this match. So we have, once again, Okada. What do we have next, Ty?
I kind of want to go into the Owen Hart Foundation finals between Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter. And I loved their segment between the two of them, the sit down they had with Renee. And I kind of got on the side of Jamie Hayter. It's hard to root against Mercedes Moné, but Court, I'll throw it to you first. Who do you think is coming out on top on this one? I don't want to keep giving my predictions first.
This is hard for me because I love Mercedes Moné. I've said it before in the podcast that I think that the handling of her has been bad. On her part, on their part, it doesn't matter. I would love to see Jamie Hayter come out as champion, winning this match. So I'm going to take Jamie Hayter just because I think we need a change there. I know that she lost whatever title that was. You guys can't quote me on this. I haven't watched a lot of AEW, but I know she had like 3 titles at one point. She lost another one, right? So she's got 2 left, or she lost
3.
one.
She lost the New Japan Strong.
Correct.
She has 3 left.
So she still has 3 left. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Like, that's crazy to me. I should be paying more attention to AEW. I'm a bad watcher. I apologize. But I love Mercedes. I think she's a great worker. I just think that it's just been bad since she's been to AEW, and I would like to see Jamie Hayter win this match. So I'm going Jamie Hayter.
Ty, you said that you can't, like, you said something about along the lines of like something about Mercedes and like enjoying her or not being able to like hate her or something just recently. I can't stand her right now. I cannot stand Mercedes Moné right now. Yeah, she's a great wrestler. Yes, she says that she doesn't control anything with the booking. That's what she says. And creative, she has no creative control. But just her constantly winning is becoming an annoyance to me, at least. And I am so sick of seeing Mercedes Moné win. And with that said, Mercedes Moné is going to win the Owen Hart Classic, and she's going to win another title.
Well, she just lost the New Japan Strong.
So she's going to pick up, but she's going to pick up another one.
So what I went to say was, which I didn't finish my statement. What I was saying was it's hard to root against Mercedes Moné with how she's being booked at this moment. I should have finished. I didn't want to finish it because it's going to say who I'm going to pick as my prediction. So I agree with you and I disagree with you a little bit because I think it is too much. I think her winning streak is just too insane, especially when like you're this larger than life star. You're coming in AEW. You know, it was a long drag until she started wrestling. And then she's just winning everything. I want to say Jamie Hayter because she put me on her side during that segment. But I still think Mercedes Moné is going to come out on top. I think she's gunning to become the double AEW Women's Champion. Do I think that will happen? Not necessarily, but I think that's going to be the match. That's going to be the high-profile match. I think a lot of people, especially AEW fans, want to see, you know, who's the top dog in the women's division. Is it, you know, Mercedes Moné or is it Toni Storm? Who are we getting? Real quick, I do want to shout out Rebecca Rose over on TikTok. She mentioned, I guess she came in, we were talking about Ricochet's laugh and brought up Seth Rollins and his crazy laugh. Seth Rollins does have probably the more crazy laugh, but Ricochet just has that dumb, really annoying laugh that he does, like the whatever the hell it is. I don't want to do it.
I need to hear that one more time.
Nah, you could have clipped that and replayed it if you wanted to. So,
real quick, when we're talking about women in AEW, just for like 2 seconds, I just want Britt Baker to be back.
That's like, never happened. I think that got tarnished.
I think she's in Guantanamo Bay waiting for her release.
Yeah,
right. But I want her to go to WWE then. I think that she's fucking incredible, and I want her to do things. That's kind of why I turned away from AEW's women's division there. It's just Mercedes. Yes, you have Tony and you have, you know, all these girls that are amazing, but it's just like, it's just, you don't have that foundation we used to have.
On the topic of Britt Baker, I know we have a lot of predictions to run through, but how cool would it be if somehow her contract expired and she makes her WWE debut at the next Evolution PLE? I think that would be fucking incredible. Britt Baker at Evolution, surprise entrant into like the women's battle royal or whatever they're going to have. I think that'd be really cool. I doubt that's the case because she probably still has a year on her contract. But anyway, back to the predictions.
Sorry, that was my fault. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
Well, I mean, let's float over to the other Owen Hart Foundation final match. We have Will Ospreay. We have Hangman Adam Page. Justin, I'll let you take this one.
So, you know who I'm going for. You know my boy Will Ospreay. But that promo between the two on Dynamite last night was incredible. The passion that you can hear coming out of Will Ospreay was just Scorsese. It was unbelievable. They sold me on this match, even though they didn't have to sell me on this match, because I know this is going to be the best match on the card, bar none. They're going to steal the show if the show is even able to be stolen. But I absolutely am going with Will Ospreay, no doubt about it. I can't bet against him.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, and I think I saw on Twitter and somebody called him Hang Nail Adam Page, and that was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, that never came to my brain, but the fact that someone called him that, I thought the promo was incredible, immaculate. It was perfect. But Ospreay is on a different level, man. He's top guy, and Adam, I love him. I do. I don't think he's hangnail, but people do, and it's tough. But I'm gonna take Bruv.
As a CM Punk stan, fuck Adam Page. How's that sound? I don't hate him that bad. I'm just kidding. But I love, we talk about this in the past on our podcast and how, they're not greatly story driven. Most of these programs they have, it's usually one-offs and quick, random title matches they have. But there was a little bit of build to this, especially with their tag team match. And the near misses they had. So that even a little bit of extra oomph to this. And again, the promo last night, it really adds to this finals match. And it makes me proud that they did something like that, because this, in this sense, right, it's just a tournament. And that's what it is. You wrestle, whoever wins it to the top. And you don't need a story behind a tournament, especially a tournament finals. So for them to go ahead and, give a taste of this, I think this is a feud that they can come back to In and Out for AEW, and it will be a banger every time they meet. Their promos together, they're in the ring. I think this is going to be hard hitting. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be a hell of a ride, but we want Will Ospreay. I want Will Ospreay to be the one to take the title off Moxley. I want it so badly. I think it would come full circle. And at this time, right, the Death Riders have been unstoppable for the most part, and no one's better than Will Ospreay to just nix that run.
Right. And you bring up, like, in the promo, I love how Ospreay pretty much told Hangman, like, listen, I've faced Moxley twice and I've lost both times. You have beat him. So I know that if you bring your best, like, and I beat you, I know I can beat him. So I need you to bring whatever passion and fire you had when you faced him and bring it to the ring, because we are going into a shootout, or whatever he said, a gunslinging shootout on Sunday. And I can't wait. That match is going to be so incredible.
Yeah, and even heel turn hooks that Ospreay versus Hangman was arguably the best promo battle in AEW history, which is damn impressive. Felt all the emotion and passion. I mean, this is to me, two of the staples of AEW. You know, Hangman's been there since day one, but Will Ospreay was a huge acquisition for AEW, and it's really showing. I mean, they've made a lot of acquisitions, AEW. They've overused certain people, but they really have, you know, the bullet in the chamber with Will Ospreay, and I hope they pull the frickin' trigger, because if they do, you know, I think they'll get more eyes on the product.
1000%. So just clearing it up, all three of us Will Ospreay, correct?
100%.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Let's go Anarchy in the Arena. I got to read this one out because I can't remember everyone. I know we have the Ops, Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, right? Willow Nightingale. We got Death Riders, the Bucks. I'm always kind of a sucker for Anarchy in the Arena. It's always fun. You know, I'm always curious to see what spots happen, especially after the first ever Anarchy in the Arena, and they're driving around the golf carts and running into each other. Like, it is pure mayhem. You know, I do hope for, you know, in my case, that they really dial in on the seriousness of this match, because how brutal the Death Riders have been. I want to see, you know, I know Samoa Joe is going to bring that. I know Swerve is going to bring it. You know, I just want it to feel more serious than more fun and lighthearted. I think it'll hit more home if this is a serious battle. You know, everyone leaving on the line to see who is the better team. You know, we have the team of the Ops and Omega, Swerve, Willow Nightingale. Like, they are the ones that are trying to conquer the Death Riders. But to me, in this one, the Death Riders coming out on top. They need if they're putting all their eggs in this basket, and I want what I want to happen with Will Ospreay, the Death Riders need to win this match. So that's why that is my prediction.
You kind of nailed it for me. I was gonna say the Death Riders need this more than, as much as you want to take them down in a kind of match like this, you can't. It's not the way to end the Death Riders. It wouldn't work. So I'm gonna go. What did I just say?
The Death Riders and the Young Bucks. Yeah.
The Death Riders.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I agree to the point that you said, Ty. Like, it has to be more serious. Like, you always have those like funny, silly spots in these Anarchy in the Arena matches. Like, if we go back to, I think it was Santana getting speared into like the pool at Jaguar Stadium, like, you know, like silly, stupid shit like that. It's the Death Riders. They're supposed to be this hard. I mean, John Moxley, he probably woke up bleeding today. So you know you're going to see blood. You know it's going to be crazy. You're probably going to have the Young Bucks with the nails on their shoes for the super kick. You know, they're going to go the whole 9 yards with that. It's going to be brutal. And I don't see them losing, unfortunately. That team is just too stacked. John Moxley, the Bucks, and then the Death Riders. You got to go with them.
Yep. And shout out to Mr. Meme Machine over on TikTok for the comment. Appreciate you. Continue, Corey.
But sorry, Ty. I think your point is perfect. That's what I was trying to get at. That your point of, if you want Ospreay to be someone has to take this title off of Mox. So the fact that it be Ospreay, you need the Death Riders and this team to win that match. So that's what I was getting at over there.
Cool. All right, we got one more match on this card. We have the AEW Women's Championship with Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa. Justin, you want to take this one first?
Yeah, it's timeless Toni Storm. She can't lose. I mean, Mina coming in, obviously she's friends with Mariah May, who is also gone missing. Probably see her show up on the other side soon. But yeah, Toni Storm, she is the best act going in AEW currently and has been for quite some time now. And to me, there's no way that you could take this title off Toni Storm, especially for Mina just coming in and signing her AEW contract. You got to let her work a little bit. You know, I know she's come in here and there for a few little spot matches, but there's no way Toni Storm is losing this match.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say Toni Storm. There's just no way. Like you said, no, I'm serious. There's no way. She's way too over, way too much going on. It's the gimmick. I can't. It's Toni Storm.
Yeah, I agree. Toni Storm all the way. And just to like reiterate the point I made before when we were talking about the Owen Hart finals between Jamie Hayter and Mercedes Moné, you know, I want Mercedes and Toni Storm for the AEW Women's Championship. That's where I see it going. They want to see who's the best of women in AEW. And so it's got, I mean, Toni Storm's got to, retain, and still simple point blank.
We're doing pretty well here, guys. You know, we have 3 shows to give predictions for, and to run through an AEW card like that's pretty impressive. So let's keep it rolling. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, I need to drink some still Coca-Cola caffeine free because it's been sitting on my desk for I don't know how long, but my throat's getting a little thirsty on this one. We got 1 of 3 cards down, 2 more to go. I kind of want to save Saturday night main event for last. So I kind of want to go into NXT Battleground. Yeah, where to start? I guess we can start with the 6-man tag match. Hank and Josh Briggs, which I always forget about Josh Briggs. I used him a shit ton in WWE 2K24. He was like one of my staples in my GM mode, but I always forget about him actually in NXT going against, the Culling, which Mr. Sean Spears' group, which love them. But Court, who do you think's taking this one?
Do you know me? Have you met me?
It's Sean Spears. That's why I pointed to you.
It's Sean Spears. Sean Spears, I don't care about anything that's happening right now. I do. I think it's amazing. The Colin is incredible. Sean Spears has been my guy since 2007 when he was Cody's tag team partner. That's all it took. You were Cody's first tag team partner, and you're my guy forever. You can ask Ty. That's why he's laughing. So
true. No, it's so fucking true.
Like, I've loved that guy. I love what he's doing. I love that he's getting the chance to do this. And I'm going to take Sean Spears and the Colin every single time without blinking. It's like Dustin before. It's when you're family, you're family.
Your family.
I'm going to go with Hank and Tank and Josh Briggs. Now, the Culling, sure, they're a fun group. Sean Spears is, he's great. He's helping get, these younger wrestlers over, which is awesome. But Hank and Tank currently, they're on a roll. They have the NXT Tag Team Champions. And then you got Josh Briggs, who has this still unfinished business with Brooks Jensen. So I think Briggs gets one finally over on his old tag team partner. And I think Josh Briggs is going to pin Brooks Jensen, and that's how the match is going to end.
Yeah, it's hard for me to pick against the current NXT Tag Team Champions, but I kind of want to because I feel like it could lead into a tag team match for the titles against the Culling and Hank and Tank. So I kind of want to go that route. I do have a feeling that the team of Hank and Tank and Josh Briggs is going to come out on top, but I want to put it down as the Culling because I feel like we can get more out of this, which I would really enjoy. And I'm going to put my foot down, and that's my prediction.
All
So
right.
proud of you. So proud of you. So proud.
I did it for you, Court. I did
Thank
it
you.
for
I
the
did
court.
it for the court. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, Justin, it's you versus the two of us.
I see that. That's all right.
That's a
Hey,
cousin. That's a cousin tag team.
It is.
You're
we got a handicap match. It's all right.
Yeah.
We'll
What
see.
do we
We'll
call
see
it?
who comes out on top.
What are we? The new dream team? The dream team? What are we again,
Oh,
Court? Back
That
in the
was
old
you.
days?
That was you and Matt. But
No,
I'll take
we were Beast Undead. Be you.
BU. Oh my god.
We were the dream team. Come on.
That's
That's
right. We were the dream team. We were
that's
Bobby
a throwback.
Lashley and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. No, it was Shawn
BU.
Michaels.
Oh, it was Shawn Michaels.
It was
back
Shawn
then.
Michaels. All right.
Oh,
Then
my
it
God.
then became Cody Rhodes. Okay.
Talking about family, we got Tony D'Angelo
The
versus
thing,
Stax Lorenzo. I'm just gonna go out and say it. I want Tony D to win this. I think this is going to be a toss-up. I think this can go either way. I think Tony has more to lose, and I think also Stax has more to gain. I think it could really push his trajectory a little bit, getting one over the Don. But I don't want that to happen. I want Tony D to stay on top of the family. I want him on top of his game. He is the only person to really defeat Obafemi. So possibly the next NXT World Champion could be Tony D leading the family as the Don, and that's what I want. So Tony D'Angelo coming out on top against Stax Lorenzo.
I'm gonna go with Stax. I think it's I think it's almost time for Tony D'Angelo to get his call up, and he's been there since the beginning of 2.0. You know, just how much more can Tony D'Angelo possibly do other than winning that, like you said, the NXT World Championship? So I think this is where Stax they give him the reins of this whole of the family. I think there's going to be some turns, and I think we see Stax come out on top. And then I wouldn't be shocked to see Tony D'Angelo in the WWE draft, whenever that may be. You know, there's rumors about it being within the next few weeks. I wouldn't be shocked seeing Tony D'Angelo being drafted to Raw or SmackDown.
yeah, that's a really good point because I thought about that when I looked at this match. I love Tony D'Angelo. I think out of looking at the roster currently, he's one of my guys that he's ready for the call up. He's ready to come up. But I don't know if right now is the time, just because of how packed the cards are on the main roster right now. I don't know if like we can pull people up and get them the right shine, the right pop, maybe after SummerSlam, which gives plenty of time. I'm going to take Tony D'Angelo in this, but I did have that same thought of, okay, if he loses the family and, you know, that whole spiel, he could easily just come up. But I think he's going to win, and he'll hang out for a little longer, and we'll wait. But he's due to come up. He'll be coming up soon.
So,
My only concern though, with I know what the both of you were saying, but if Tony D loses and then goes to Raw, what's his gimmick? He's not the Don anymore. So you kind of strip him down into what? Do you give him a different gimmick? Do you let him just be a plain Tony D? So to me, I feel like he still needs that and can move to Raw or SmackDown as the Don, but also, you know, oversee in a way the family on NXT. Like they can still report to him in some way or some shape. You know, there isn't just a disconnect from Raw and SmackDown to NXT. You know, we do see crossovers a lot nowadays. So that's why I don't want to see him lose, is because I feel like stripped down to what will become of Tony D.
no, that's a great point. You just have to. I don't know. I mean, a call up might not be in the near future for him. I just think with how long he's been there and the work that he's put in, I think it's kind of deserving. But you're right. You guys are right. You know, it's so stacked up on the main card, and we've seen it where NXT talents get called up, and then unfortunately they're probably released 6 months later because they just had nothing to do with them. But I'm noticing that it's just the cousins versus me so far on this NXT Battleground card. So let's see if this continues.
All right, Court, let me throw this one to you first. We got the first ever time the TNA World Championship is being defended
Oh,
on
don't do this.
WWE soil. Is it going to be Trick Williams or is it going to be average Joe Hendry? Who we got in this one?
Dude, you threw me the hardest one. Like, oh, here's a softball. Just kidding, it's the hard ball. Are you serious? Fastball? Oh, this one, I've been torn all day. I've been watching everything going down. I want Joe Hendry to retain, but something deep down is telling me that Triple H is like, let me get that TNA title. Let me have it. And just let me roll. So I don't know. I'm gonna take Trick Willie.
I mean, if you listen to the quick count, I am going with Trick Williams. I can't believe I'm saying it. I'm stunned that I'm saying it, but it makes the most sense. I think obviously I'm sure TNA and Anthem have the say on who wins this match. I don't think obviously they would let that happen if all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, go take our title and just do whatever. I think there's more Trick Williams having that title on both NXT and TNA consistently. And I don't know. It's tough because Joe Hendry's doing the same thing. So I'm like kind of talking in a loop here because Joe Hendry's on both right now. But for some reason, I just think we're going to get that first crossover, cross promotion title change that we've been waiting for. And unfortunately, it's coming at the hands of Joe Hendry.
I believe. That's all I'm going to say. I believe because you know what? I feel like, especially with the WrestleMania moment, they want to, put some respect on Joe Hendry's name. And losing his first title match on NXT, I can't see it happening unless TNA gets their grips on Trick Williams and he is a mainstay on TNA as long as he's champion and he's there every week. If that's what's going to happen, sure, I can see Trick Williams, beating Joe Hendry. And maybe they want that eyes on the program because then they're like, all right, if we put the title on Trick, we can get all these people who love him on NXT to get their eyes weekly on Impact. I think it's still Impact, right? For how my TNA knowledge is nowadays. But I don't think that Joe Hendry is going to lose, especially the quick loss to Orton. We spoke about it. We don't think it was bad, but he had the quick loss to Orton at WrestleMania. So that kind of like, as a champion, like tarnishes you, not for him. Like I'm proud, like I'm so happy for him. I think that's tremendous for him. But as a champion of a whole promotion, it kind of, diminishes you a little bit. And also, he got, he didn't get to do Scotland. Everyone wanted him to do Clash at the Castle, and he wasn't there, right? As a homegrown person, and a lot of people said the reason he got the WrestleMania match was to make up for that miss of a moment. So that's why I think when the cards are down, I think it's going to lead to Joe Hendry retaining. But I wouldn't be surprised if Trick Williams walked out as TNA World Champion.
Can I change my pick? Because that just swayed me.
You're changing to Joe Hendry?
I believe.
Yeah.
I believe. He just swayed me because he threw it to me first, and I was literally 50-50, and I was like thinking in my head, like on the cuff, and I'm swayed. I'm going Joe.
I'm glad you believe.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
And this is not a Cousins thing.
I get it.
For 17 years.
But don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying that I don't want Joe Hendry. I believe too. Joe Hendry said, Justin, I'll see you at Slammiversary. And he will, I believe. But I think, all right, so here's my actual prediction, and maybe I'll sway you back real quick. Want to know how I think this match is going to end? I think we're going to find out that Trick Williams has been in control this whole time of that new group. I'm blanking out on their names right now, but the group that has just been causing mayhem throughout NXT, they're going to come and help Joe Hendry. Joe's going to lose not clean. And those four guys are going to be standing in the middle of the ring. And then those four are going to be running rampant on TNA and NXT.
I mean, that's a great, 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 damn, really great call. You could be totally right. I'm still staying with my switch.
Core still believes. Let's go.
Because I was literally, when Ty threw it to me, because spoiler alert, we don't talk about any of this ever. And when he threw it to me, I was literally 50-50, like on the edge, and I just jumped. And then I felt unjust.
And then I caught you on your fall.
You
gracefully.
did. Which, again, this has nothing to do with being cousins. And just, I have a really funny thing I need to send you from my Facebook memories from 17 years ago. It's like partying in Sayville. And you said, oh, party at Blank Bacinas.
Oh my god.
Cool. Where was that random thought from? Anyway,
I don't know.
Back to the predictions. Let's do the NXT Women's North American Championship. Sol Ruka, we got Kalani Jordan. Kalani coming back for her championship. Justin, how are we feeling about this matchup?
Oh man, oh man, oh man. I love Kalani Jordan, but I don't know how you can have Sol Ruka lose yet, unless you have Delta, interrupt and backstabber. So I'm gonna go with Sol Ruka.
On record and say I love Sol Ruka. I think she's great. I really like it, and I never thought I would like it, which is strange for me. When I see a good women's talent, like usually I'm just like, oh wow, they're amazing. I'm hooked. I like her, and I like everything about her. I like her gimmick. I like her matches. I like everything. So I'm going Sol Ruka, and she's one of my favorites, and I might start collecting her cards. So there's that.
I'm gonna go with Kalani. I feel like she didn't really get justice on her first title reign as Women's North American Champion. I think you're right. I think we could see a Delta turn and screw over Sol Ruka. I think that can extend a nice feud for them to go move on with. I just would like to see Kalani really get more time with that championship and really show what she has as champion. So that's why I'm going to go the route of Kalani Jordan.
Ty, Kalani Jordan, Court, and Justin finally teaming up on this one. Finally.
See?
Finally. The Rock has come back to WrestleMania. I'm sorry, Court. Before Court goes on a rant, I'm gonna go on to the
I was not.
I know you gave a look that you were ready to shit on my boy Dwayne, but
no,
we're not.
I swallowed that down. I was
all right. Good. Go ahead. Don't talk shit about The Rock. Anyway,
there'll be a chance for that later. Don't worry.
Oh wow, whatever. All right, NXT Women's Championship. Stephanie Bakir. We got Jordan Grace. Look at this. Court, you want to take this? You want to take this one?
Why do you give me the hardest ones? I'm so torn here. I love them both. I think they are just incredible. But I think Jordan Grace wins. I think Stephanie Bakir is gonna go up fully, finally. She's been sprinkled around. She's had matches here and there on, Raw. I don't know about SmackDown, but definitely Raw. It's time, and Jordan Grace is the perfect women's champion. I love them both. This is again, but this one is even closer than Joe Hendry and Trick Williams because I love them both equally. I think it's like choosing between children at this point. They're both incredible for the women's division. Love them both. Jordan Grace used to role play, so Jordan Grace.
I am sticking with the champion. I believe Stephanie Bakir comes out on top. I just, like you said, with the call, Julia just got called up. Roxanne Perez just got called up. You can't pull Stephanie Bakir up yet. Let her still cook down there. The match is going to be insane. Don't get me wrong. Both women are going to show out and show up. It's going to be a stiff match. I think there's going to be some jabs that we're going to be like, oh, she definitely felt that one. But yeah, Stephanie Bakir for me.
Yeah, I kind of had the same thought process as you, Justin, with, the current upbringings of Roxanne and Julia. I'm still kind of torn, though, because I think Stephanie still has, extra time as champion, but Jordan Grace is just ready. Look what she did on TNA as champion. She was a tank. She just wrecked through that division, and I could see that happening, but I feel like if they don't pull the trigger on Jordan Grace now, it might be a while, but with how over Stephanie Bakir is, even with Booker T always on the announce desk, just getting all in there, getting crazy when she's boofing people with her ass and her legs. I don't know. This is really tough. I kind of want to side with you, Justin, with Stephanie Bakir and still. So that's what I'm going to go with.
All right. So we have Ty and myself, Stephanie Bakir, Court with Jordan Grace. Correct. We have one more match?
One more match. The NXT NXT World Championship. Miles Bourne, Obafemi. This one's pulling out the heartstrings, people. I was always pulling cards earlier this year, Miles Bourne, saying, "What is this crap?" And now I'm like, "Where are those cards, baby?" Court's loving it because she knows. I got so behind him in his promo with Oba. I thought it was very sentimental, very heart-filled, very passionate. It really, made me back him that much more into this match. But Obafemi is a monster. He's not here to let people's dreams come true. He's here to crush them. He's here to reign as the ruler. And that's why he's going to be and still NXT champion.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there, Ty. I think Obafemi retains, but I want to talk about Miles Bourne's promo because that took a lot of heart and soul and, to be partially deaf. I'm partially blind, and, you can't tell when you look at me, and you can't tell that he's partially deaf when you look at him. And he caught a fucking hell of a promo. Like, people are like, oh, he doesn't sound bad at all. He just sounds like, he's a little, like, Southern. And, like, that's fucked up to say, but that's what people were saying. But literally put his heart on the line for this, and I'm so proud of that guy. And like Ty said, that's why I was laughing, because we kept pulling his cards last year because they were in every single pack that we pulled. And we were like, who is this guy? And to see him getting a world championship match, amazing. I think he's a great worker. I think he has the look, he has the talent, and honestly, he has the promo. Because if you, put all that into perspective, amazing. But Obafemi's going to win here. But amazing for Miles Bourne. And I keep saying Randy in my head because he looks so much like Randy. But that's a fucking great look to have. Like, that is the best person to be compared to in the world. Like, if you look at Randy Orton, holy shit, that's A+. So I'm going to take Obafemi, but Miles Bourne, love you. I'm not getting any of your cards. You got my respect, and good for you, bro.
Yeah, that promo was incredible, like you said. He really, for pretty much like one of the first times we've ever heard him cut a promo, for him to do it that well was top notch. Hats off, hand claps all around. But I don't see him winning. I am with you guys. Obafemi. I think this is the first time we're actually agreeing on all three of us on NXT Battleground. But yeah, Obafemi, Miles Bourne, his time is coming. Obviously, I think when Cena and Orton were still feuding and they had the one guy come up and Cena gave him the attitude adjustment, I think that was actually Miles Bourne. It wasn't?
It was Sean Spears.
Oh, it was Sean Spears?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well,
it was Stan. Actually,
I just kicked Stan.
It was Stan.
Well, regardless, the push that he will get, and I think it's starting, it's going to be incredible. So hold on to those cards that you guys have, because I think the price is going to start going up on those bad boys.
All right, folks, we got 2 / pay-per-view / PLEs down. We got one more to go. The one that's starting off the weekend, Saturday night main event. The card is actually stacked. But the one match that isn't as stacked, we're going to start with, and that's John Cena versus R-Truth. What the fuck is this match?
Can I talk about this? Because
Go for it.
I have a lot of feelings about this match. I love R-Truth. I think he's been a journeyman, a warrior. He has been in the industry for, oh my god, I don't even want to know his debut date.
It was Attitude Era. It was, there was
yeah.
K-Quick with and I think that was that TNA or was that with Road Dogg?
No, that was in WWE with
that
Get
was
Crunk.
right.
Get Crunk. Do you remember Get Crunk?
Yeah, that was with Road Dogg.
Yeah, Get Crunk. I love R-Truth. I do. I hate this, but I love this for one simple reason. Because I know it's not a non-title match, and I know it's, whatever, normal match. R-Truth, John Cena. Of course, Cena's going to crush him into oblivion. But somebody's going to come back and save him. And I know who that person's going to be. Cody, I missed you. It's been a month. We've talked about wrestling for 51 minutes now, and I don't know if you can tell, but I've been kind of out of touch. It's hard for me to watch without my favorite. It's tough. I miss him. I want Cody to come back. I hope he does during this match. That being said, of course, John Cena wins unless Cody comes back and helps R-Truth win, which would be hilarious. But there's a reason it's non-title.
Go full force for the court.
There's a reason there's non-title. Cody's going to help R-Truth. He's going to beat Cena. He's going to beat his childhood hero. And boom, that reunites the Cody Cena thing, which never died to begin with because Cody never came back after Mania. And I'm telling you, I don't want to talk about Money in the Bank because I know what's in the we've seen, what's in the foreplan, but whatever. But I want Cody to be back full time. I'm ready. He was at Epic Universal Studios with Brandy this week. He's back. He had his month off. He's done. People want to say, I saw a thing on Twitter. I'm pissed about this. So I'm just going to say it. I don't care that we're live. I don't care. People were saying, oh, Roman Reigns could take all the time he wants off because he's such a big star, and Cody takes a month off. Everyone forgets about him. Oh, yeah, you think people forget about Cody? Okay. Wait for Saturday night's main event. Just wait. His music hits, that place is going to erupt. I don't care. I don't care it's a pay-per-view. I don't care it's on television. I don't care. Give me Cody back now, yesterday, tomorrow. I need it. I'm sorry. I've had a couple of drinks tonight. I don't care. Do it, please.
Do it.
I can't wait for Cody not to show up. I have Cody not showing up. I think we just have seen a squash R-Truth. Honestly, I think it's not going to be like, sure, R-Truth will get in a few moves here or there. He might hit one attitude adjustment. I think he'll hit an attitude adjustment on Cena, but then Cena will like one count it, and it's just going to be John Cena. It would be fun to see Cody. I'm not going to lie, and I know he's due back soon, but yeah, I got R-Truth. Oh my god, I got John Cena.
R-Truth, baby.
I got John Cena. I got John Cena.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an absolute slaughter. I would think it would be awesome if Cody Rhodes came back and screwed John Cena over and R-Truth won. I think that would be hysterical. I think that would really, actually start the downfall of John Cena with, his heel turn and his reign, and then eventually lose the title to Cody, back to Cody. I just don't see it. I can't. I think they want to make John Cena this mega heel, and why not? The best way is just to murder R-Truth, the guy who's just, the comedian, the comic relief, the funny guy. Like, how could you hate R-Truth? He's funny, he makes Brock Lesnar laugh and, and does silly things. But then when you take that guy and you have the top face of the last 20 years come in and just dismantle him and leave him a mess on the floor, I think that's going to go a long way. And I think that's why Cena is going to win on Saturday.
Yeah, I get that. But I can't. I have so much to say, but I can't.
But
All
you
right.
can't.
I can't.
Next match, Ty.
It's too much. It's too much.
All right. This is one I can't wait for. Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, steel cage match. Justin, we spoke a lot about this last week. How you feeling about this one?
Drew McIntyre deserves the win. And I think Drew McIntyre gets the win. I'm going to say Drew. I think the only way Priest wins is if someone that has been pissing off Drew McIntyre, which seems to be everyone. I believe Drew's issue is that he gets distracted easily and he loses focus of his matches and then he ends up losing. So the only way I see Drew losing is if someone comes out and helps Damian or someone distracts Drew. I have Drew McIntyre. Drew deserves to win.
Yeah, I'm going to take Drew too. It's going to be a great match. Holy shit, it's going to be amazing. But there's just no way that you can take Drew and as much as I like Damian, because I do, it's Drew's match to win. It's Damian can win it and it wouldn't do anything. Drew, it'd be, it would just be, Drew would help. Damian losing doesn't hurt him. So I'm going to go Drew.
I feel like I disagree a little bit. I feel like if Drew loses, I feel like this hurts either person on this card because we had Drew get the with the win at WrestleMania. Was it or Backlash? I forget what their match was. No, it was WrestleMania because then they had the Fatal 4-Way at Backlash. Ignore me. Right? Am I losing it or no?
No, you're right.
I'm right. Okay, great. For some reason, I was second guessing myself, but I don't know. I know WWE wants to put this rocket on Damian Priest, but like at what expense for Drew? I know Drew has the one up on him, but Drew's been the bottom of the barrel of all these feuds all of 2024 into 2025, and to me, it's just like not fair. I gotta go Drew. I feel like I know WWE is gonna pull Damian Priest in somehow and try and get him to win, but if they do, I feel like that's a shame. I feel like 2025 should be Drew's year. Let this man go. Let him even win Money in the Bank again and actually cash in and do it properly and do what he does. I have all the respect and love in the world for Drew McIntyre. I think Damian can, I think it hurts him a lot if he loses, but at the same time, I think he can bounce back. It just shows what kind of character you are and performer you are if you can bounce back from low times. So I want Drew McIntyre. That's my pick. And I think this match is going to be brutal. I think they're going to fucking kill it. I think people are going to be gasping at what the hell is happening. We saw Hell in a Cell with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. This is going to be right up there with how intense it is. We're going to see blood, and I think it's going to take the cake for this PLE.
We have our boy Fog saying, "Say it" on the YouTube chat. Fog, we know you're a Drew McIntyre guy. We're all going Drew McIntyre this Saturday at Saturday night's main event.
All right, tag team match. We got Seth freaking Rollins, Braun Breaker, CM Punk, Sami Zayn, Paul Heyman's definitely gonna be in the corner of the Seth and the Braun court. Who we picking for this one?
You guys want me to say it? Is Sami turning? Like, is that just like common practice? Like, does everyone think that? I mean, that's what I feel. I'm gonna take Seth and Braun. because of a turn on the other side. Could it be? It's not going to be Punk, so it's got to be Sammy unless Jay gets involved. But he's got his own problems that night. So I'm going to take Seth and Braun, and it's going to be a hell of a match. And I think Sammy's going to make the turn. He's going to go to the dark side and join in with that group. And I think that's what at least what the internet connection is, thinking. So we'll see.
It's not a bad guess. I do agree with you that I think Braun and Seth are winning. I just got totally distracted by my wife in the chat saying yeet. But I do think Seth and Braun are winning. I think Punk and Sammy, though, are going to come back out a little bit later on in the show to help a certain other friend, I believe. So I'll get to them later, but I don't think the turn's happening yet. I think that's if Sami Zayn's turning heel, I don't think it's happening at a Saturday Night Main Event. I feel like that would happen somewhere like a SummerSlam or a Survivor Series or WrestleMania. Because a heel turn from Sami would be incredible. But I think they let that slow cook, and my winners are Seth and Braun, and then we see CM Punk and Sami a little later in the show.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. It's going to be Braun and Seth. You can't make such a new dominant faction lose that quickly. Especially, I love Punk. He's my boy. I love Sami. But they're going to take the L. Seth, has himself propped up for greatness and success and domination. He's got the most dominant man on Raw on his side. He's got the best mouthpiece in the industry on his side. CM Punk doesn't have that. CM Punk versus Seth alone. CM Punk will smack that man around, but unfortunately, Seth ain't alone anymore. He's trying to line himself to become the best and only world heavyweight champion. That's not happening yet, but yeah, that's going to be our victor. I mean, I can't see it going the other way. I don't know if Sami turns. I think it's a possibility, but again, we have leading into the main event, which I believe is going to be the main event. I think it'd be dumb if it's not. We have Jey Uso defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Logan Paul, which, Justin, you were alluding to some pop-ups between Seth, Braun, CM Punk, and Sami. I think you're right. I think Seth is also colluding against Jey and wants Logan to win that because why not? That's easy pickings for Seth freaking Rollins. He can wipe the floor with Logan Paul if he wants to. But it's nice if they do that. I agree with it because it's just building more of a story behind all these players and all these characters. You can have like a 6-man tag match at that point between, all these players and keep the world title on Jey. I'm excited, with Raw. We spoke about it. If you've seen the TikTok clip, Justin clipped me saying, Raw's wide open. That title can change hands at a moment's freaking notice. And I don't think it's yet. Who knows? Maybe. But I think Jey Uso is retaining the World Heavyweight Championship.
That's exactly. So after that encounter with Logan Paul and Seth Rollins on Monday night, that's exactly where in my head I knew that they were going to try to help Logan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I believe the faces will end Saturday Night Main Event on top. You'll have Jey, Sami, and Punk standing with Jey Uso, and still, Logan will be a world champion. Don't get me wrong. It's not the time. But it would be cool if all of a sudden Logan Paul was that third guy for Paul Heyman. It has crossed my mind, but it's not going to happen yet. And still, yeet Jey Uso.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Jey loses to Logan. There's just I've said in the past, that I think Jey deserves a nice run, and he does. And Logan, I've said in the past, we loved him as U.S. champ, but then he disappeared, and he wasn't there. And I hated that when Roman was champion. So if he's going to be world champion, I want him there every single week. I want him, cutting promos, having, rivalries, having feuds, having things going on. I don't want him just, oh, he's the champion. It doesn't matter that he's not here. No, that's not the kind of champion that I like. I never did from the day I was watching wrestling, So I'm going to take Jay. Maybe you have a great point about him helping, and Sammy and Punk and Jay standing tall. It's a great point, and it's probably going to happen. But I just feel like, real quick, like I know we're doing predictions, but do we think that the Rollins, Heyman, Braun thing needs another person? Like, do they need another person, or are we just going to leave it? I don't know.
It can. I mean, it doesn't hurt. I don't think necessarily right now it's going to happen, but definitely down the line. I mean, who knows? At SummerSlam, they might add someone. We don't know who's coming in. There could be other names that are still yet that we don't know who's joining WWE. So I'm open to it. I mean, Evolution had more than 2 people. A lot of groups have more than 2. So completely open to it. Doesn't need it right now. I don't necessarily think so, but definitely wouldn't be shocked if there is down the road a 3rd member.
I would love it if it's a woman. I think if they added like a strong woman center for that group, I think that would be perfect. Maybe eventually add another person later on. But to me, I feel like you can really showcase a top woman talent on that team and really send them to the next level. Like Rhea obviously doesn't need it, but she could be a dominant heel on that team. I think it would be cool if Roxanne Perez was a part of that team. She could do so much with that. I know we got Finn Balor bringing her in as an ally to the Judgment Day, bringing Chicken Nuggets to Dirty Dom, which Dirty Dom is just putting on the Infinity Gauntlet of the women in the WWE roster. I don't even know at this point. I think Triple H either loves the man or he's trying to get him divorced. I don't know. Either one. I can't even decide which one he's doing.
His wife chilled it, which is crazy.
Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah. But, yeah, I think eventually, like you said, Justin, there would be an addition. I would love for it to be a woman superstar, but who knows?
Yeah, and that is a prediction show right there.
That is one.
We have one last topic here down on the ticker, and I'm curious to get your guys' opinions on this. So today, major news: it has been announced that WWE is pulling WrestleMania next year from New Orleans. So The Rock didn't even have to do that whole major announcement about WrestleMania going to New Orleans because it is not showing up. WrestleMania is not going to be in New Orleans. It has not been confirmed, but Fightful is reporting that it looks like Vegas is getting WrestleMania again, 2 years in a row. I was kind of hoping for London. I know a lot of people were hoping for London. If it's Vegas again and it gets confirmed, I'm just going to give my opinion now. I think that's wrong. I mean, I know from a money standpoint, TKO is probably drooling at the mouth with how much money that they made from Las Vegas during WrestleMania weekend, but the tickets are just, you're outpricing a lot of the regular fans, and it's unfortunate. I hope if they do go back, ticket prices are a little bit lower and they're more obtainable for, the average fan that wants to just go to a big show and enjoy themselves. But I don't know, to me, going back to Vegas is a big no.
That's your prediction? Because this is still a prediction, I guess, right? Where's WrestleMania going? This is we're predicting where WrestleMania is going next year. WrestleMania 42 court. Where's WrestleMania 42 going next year? Not New Orleans. Where's it going?
I just want to say that it's terrible that they did that because people, there's wrestling fans that wait for that announcement and they book their shit immediately. Like they book their hotel and they book their, travel and everything, and that's messed up to just change it because especially when you have The Rock, announce it like, oh my god, that's set in stone, that's gonna happen. And I understand things change as a business, that's fine. And TKO is based out of, I think, Vegas because it's UFC, whatever. But I think it's gonna go to freaking Saudi Arabia, man, and I think that's great for them money wise. But damn, is that terrible for all of our? You know, we can't afford that. We can't afford in the states. We can't afford Saudi Arabia. So my guess, 42 is going to be in Saudi Arabia. Rada. How do you say that?
I forget how to pronounce it.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I forget how to
I'm
pronounce
sorry
it.
if
Riyadh?
I mispronounced.
Riyadh, thank you.
Riyadh, thank you. Riyadh.
So this is not a prediction. This is a spoiler right here of where WrestleMania 42 is going to go. SummerSlam, 2 nights, MetLife is already popping off, selling tickets left and right. Triple H, TKO, holy shit. We can't not go to Jersey for WrestleMania. So what I'm saying right now, WrestleMania 42, after a spectacular 2 nights in SummerSlam, the home of the Jets, and the home of the Jets is
No,
going to get
no.
WrestleMania 42.
You can't do that.
I
And
just
and
did.
not. No. Giants.
No,
I know
I
that
mean,
there's 2 Jet fans here.
look at the Jet stuff. Where's the Giant stuff? There's no Giant stuff in this podcast. I don't
Right
see
there.
shit. I
Right
see
there.
Jets. Look, Nick
Okay.
Mangold, Darrell Revis up there, Mark Sanchez. We got a Santa Funko back there. All Jets decked out, ready for WrestleMania 42 at the home of the Jets.
If the Jets won a playoff game there,
Probably not.
no. The
I
answer is-
would. I mean, obviously, if it came back to Jersey, that'd be awesome. But with Fightful reporting that it seems like it's going to be Vegas, I'm obviously going with Vegas.
All right, well, Fightful doesn't have my insights. Anyway, that is a prediction show, folks. Thanks to everyone that tuned in live, and thank you for everyone that will listen to this podcast, especially our number one fan, Joey K, who will probably listen to this. There's your little shout out. We haven't shouted you out in a while. We appreciate this. We appreciate all the interaction. We appreciate the support. We love it. Make sure to go check out our socials. Follow them. We have an affiliate link for WWE Shop. So if you want to support us, go to our affiliate link and buy your WWE merch. We would appreciate that a ton. Here it is over Justin's face because we don't need Justin. We need QR codes for said link. I think that's a wrap, folks. We'll catch you on the next one. Real Marks